They are the Empire's widely recognized pair of guardian siblings. One wears his handsome look openly on his face and hides his ruthlessness beneath his skin. The other buries her desires deep in hell and crowns herself king with her cuteness. Older brother Kalyan is from a famous swordsmanship clan and heir of the Wignac family, but all he thinks about every day is playing weak to get his sister to protect him. While the little sister, who has no clue about this at all, Rosie, only wants to keep her handsome brother from getting hurt. She's the ultimate brother con through and through. My brother should be protected by me and me only. One day, Rosie heard from her brother a piece of news that shocked her to the core. It seemed her brother had caught the Emperor's attention, and that so-called Emperor has a weird habit of collecting pretty boys from all countries and keeping them in the Empire. If that's the case, my brother has to be extra careful, because his looks are just way too good. Her brother looked confused. Is there something wrong with my face? Actually, her brother's face is so attractive it's blinding. This handsome guy who can even charm the Emperor is named Kalyan Wignac. Kalyan is Rosie's most precious family member. He's also the heir of the famous swordsmanship clan. Actually, Rosie died once before. She's a reborn person now. Unlike the common trope where people reincarnate as nobles or princesses, Rosie was reborn as an orphan. She struggled every day just to stay alive. One night, Rosie ran into Kalyan. Back then, Rosie thought Kalyan was asking for help. Coincidentally, Rosie had extremely strong swordsmanship talent in her past life. After she saved Kalyan, Rosie joined the Wignac family as was only natural. Kalyan listened to his sister's story, thinking something seemed off about it. As far as Kalyan remembers, Rosie joined the Wignac clan because she was attracted by Kalyan's handsome looks. Rosie thought about it carefully, and that actually was the case. Also, she never fought with Kalyan's guards. 3 years have passed since then. If you ask what changed, it's that Kalyan has received help from Rosie in every aspect of his life. Kalyan knows Rosie is very tough. But even so, when it comes to seniority, Kalyan is the older one, so she doesn't need to worry so much. But of course, Rosie is still worried. If you count her past life, she's already 29 years old. That's 10 years older than Kalyan right in front of her. Even though Kalyan is the clan heir, his physical strength is basically zero. Plus, he's so dense he doesn't even realize when someone of the opposite sex is hitting on him. Later, Rosie found out that her brother was going to meet the Emperor the next day. If things keep going like this, the Emperor might very well gobble up her dear brother whole. If Kalyan hadn't shown up, Rosie would have starved to death on the roadside long ago. So her older brother is the only important person she has. To protect her brother's innocence, Rosie swore in her heart that she would keep him safe no matter what. So a few hours later, Rosie started brainstorming ways to stop this from happening. While she was thinking, she saw Kalyan right in front of her, looking at Kalyan's completely unsuspecting figure. A brilliant idea popped into Rosie's head. At times like this, the simplest and most reliable method is always the best option. Rosie planned to land one clean, sharp hit to knock Kalyan unconscious. Even though this was a bit rude, it was all for Kalyan's own good. Then Rosie ran forward quickly. She jumped high into the air. But unfortunately, Kalyan just spotted a pretty flower and dodged Rosie's attack completely by accident. A few coincidences are fine, but too many stop being coincidences. Several attacks in a row were easily dodged by Kalyan. This sight caught the attention of the local princes. They thought to themselves in amazement, who would have thought the neighboring country visitors are still training? That's really admirable. They praised Rosie for her petite build, but her sword skills were terrifyingly strong. No one ever knew exactly how strong Rosie was. At this point, Rosie was so tired she was gasping for air. Rosie couldn't figure out what was going on. Why couldn't she land even one hit on her older brother? Just then, her brother suddenly cried out in alarm. Rosie ran over quickly. Big brother? What happened? Kalyan looked at Rosie with tears in his eyes. I think I got stung by a bee. This made Rosie panic instantly. Gosh, you are such a handful. The second I'm not by your side, something bad always happens to you. That's why I worry about you so much. I took out a Band-Aid and put it on my brother's hand. I really don't want my big brother to go meet the Emperor, because I have no clue what that Emperor might do to you. After all, my brother is really super handsome. If the Emperor takes a fancy to him, that'd be like a little pup falling right into the tiger's den. He'd definitely never make it back alive, but my brother insisted on going to see the Emperor anyway. So I set a few rules for him. First one, if anyone touches your body without permission, you have to fight back firmly without hesitation. If they still don't stop, you need to aim for their weak spots. If the opponent is stronger than you must call for Rosie immediately. My brother agreed to all 3 of my rules. When we clapped to seal the agreement, I cast a magic array on his band-aid. Time flew by, and soon it was night. Earlier that day, just to be extra safe, I carved another magic array on it. That way, when my brother calls my name, I can track his location right away. Thinking of that, I could finally relax and go to sleep. But right as I was dozing off, I thought of my brother's handsome face again. Turns out I couldn't relax at all. It's mostly because that emperor is super creepy and has such weird messed up kinks. I couldn't fall asleep, so I got out of bed. What if I cast a spell to put my brother to sleep? That would feel a lot safer, right? Then I can say he's sick in bed. The emperor will probably give up then. Yeah, that's my only option. But when I pulled back my brother's blanket, he wasn't even sleeping in bed at all. I was really confused. Where could he have gone? I got really curious. Big bro is out this late. What could he possibly be up to? I started panicking because I couldn't find him. What if someone kidnapped him? Meanwhile, somewhere else, in this filthy sewer, there were over a dozen dead bodies lying around. And the guy sitting on top of them was actually my big brother, Callian. You idiots! If you get me hurt even a little, my princess will throw a huge fit, you know. Did you seriously not know that? A little later, I got to the city gate tower. I didn't expect the guards here to be so careless. They were actually sleeping on night duty. Guess I got pretty lucky. With things like this, I should be able to sneak through the gate quietly. So I tiptoed past the guards, getting ready to go find my brother. There was an iron gate right in front of me. As long as I move super quietly, I won't make any noise. Right when I was about to sneak out of here, a rabbit suddenly jumped out of the bushes out of nowhere. It scared the crap out of me. Clang. The iron gate slammed hard onto the ground. And the noise woke up the guards completely. They looked up and saw a little girl standing right there. Oh crap, I thought to myself. I didn't think I'd get caught. But what confused me was, were these 2 guards even okay? They looked all wobbly and unsteady. I warned them to think twice. If they really wanted to fight me, you would definitely regret it. The 2 guards didn't care at all. They charged straight at me to try to take me down. I was a little hesitant, wondering if I should actually fight them. Just then, I stepped on a rock. My body started falling backwards from the inertia, but I didn't hit the ground. Someone caught me with their hand. What is going on right now? I couldn't process what was happening for a second. It seems my knights have been rather rude to you. I apologize to you on their behalf. This strange man in front of me gently asked if I was hurt. The 2 guards that tried to attack me just now had already gotten a beating and were kneeling in the corner apologizing. The man introduced himself as Louis Feezer and the head of this estate. I feel like the name Louis sounds familiar for some reason. Louis looked at the sword on my waist. Are you Unicum's disciple by any chance? I can tell. You're excited to be at the estate for the first time, but little squirts like you should go back to your room and stay put. I protested that I wasn't a little squirt. You're the little squirt. Anyway, putting that aside, Louis wanted to know where Callian was. I huffed coldly. Oh, the great head of the Feezer family. What business do you have with our young master? Besides, private meetings between the heads and heirs of extraordinary families are technically prohibited by law, right? Louis was silent for a long time before he spoke. Callian is my friend. I just came over to chat with him. But I don't buy a single word he said. 'Cause Callian isn't the kind of person who would mingle with random people for no reason. So this guy in front of me looked super suspicious. Louis didn't feel like talking to me anymore. If you're not going to tell me the truth, I'll just go ask your clan leader directly. Then I'll also report that a disciple of the Wignac clan is sneaking around the manor acting fishy. His behavior is totally questionable. He totally got me where it hurts. If they find out I messed this up, I'll definitely get chewed out. I told him Callian wasn't at the manor anymore. A flicker of surprise crossed Louis's eyes. Looks like that idiot overcomplicated things again. I had no clue why he was so mad. That's when I spotted a sharp fang at the corner of his mouth. It suddenly hit me that the supernaturals of the Faisal clan are the ones with shape-shifting powers. If the Wignac clan is the famous swordsmanship family, then the Faisal clan can turn into animals. and use their own bodies as weapons. If I play my cards right, I might even get a free mount to ride. I asked him full of excitement. Lord Fizzle, what animal can you turn into exactly? He said he can turn into a Black Panther. The second I heard Black Panther, I thought that was so freaking cool. With that kind of speed, he can find Callian super fast? Louis saw how excited I looked and was totally confused. What on earth is this girl thinking? Then I asked him for a favor. I hoped that when he went to look for Callian, he could bring me along too. Actually, I heard there's a group in the Empire that's targeting this young master. I'm worried he'll get into danger all alone. Maybe he's already been kidnapped by bad guys. But Louis said that's impossible. You might not realize it, but as the heir of a supernatural clan, he's definitely capable of protecting himself. If a little girl has to worry about him this much, it'll hurt his dignity as an heir. Besides, Louis suspected my real goal wasn't to find Callian, but to use the Fizzle clan, Patriarch, as my personal ride. Oh no, he saw right through my little secret. But I didn't care at all. I just hugged him tight. I begged him to take me with him. I'll definitely be useful, I promise. Louis told me to let go of him, but I already cast a shape-shifting spell with my hands. A golden light spread through his body. Fine, guess I have to go through with the transformation. Let me show you the Fizzle clan. Leader's true power. Oh, he's such a good boy. I can't believe he agreed that fast. Meanwhile, on the other side, Callian figured I already knew he wasn't in his room. Right at that moment, a woman appeared behind Callian. I sensed the aura of a sword, so I came to check. And I was right. Should I take this as a declaration of war? From the kingdom of Avil, Callian, sitting on a pile of corpses, let out a cold laugh. Declaration of war? That's way too dramatic. I was just defending myself. By the way, I heard the Emperor is hunting me down, is that true? Rumor has it he has a really messed up collection hobby. Is my face really pretty enough for him to kidnap me? He even sent people to capture me. Callian guessed, among his harem of 300 handsome men, he's hiding some kind of secret. He plans to sacrifice me to mid-sentence. Callian looked up at the woman, say some kind of heart relic. The woman's face changed the second she heard that. That's exactly the reaction Callian wanted. Because her reaction said it all. Callian was right. Meanwhile, this panther is literally a flying panther. He's as fast as lightning. Hey, you little runt, why are you laughing so much on my back? He asked, sounding annoyed. I didn't explain anything, 'cause he'll figure it out soon enough. Also, he kept calling me little runt and little girl. I thought he was way older than me. But actually, he's probably still in his growth phase. He's 3 times smaller than a fully grown Black Panther. The panther was so annoyed by this thought. He wanted to throw me off right then and there. I yelled from his back. Let's team up to find young Master Callian. The panther told me to be quiet. I was way too loud. What's more, we've already traveled a really long distance. If I wasn't on his back, he could have run even farther. But come to think of it, why is this kid so heavy? That made me so mad. Is that appropriate to say to a lady? Black Panther completely lost it. How dare you call yourself a lady? Right at this moment, I clearly sensed magic power. I looked up ahead. Callian's magic is right underground here. I can already feel it. But this area is so huge. I had no idea what to do. Just then, I heard Callian calling my name. This was a spell I put on my brother's bandages earlier. If my brother runs into someone stronger than him, he should call out his own name. Thinking of that, I knew I couldn't delay any longer. My brother could be in danger any second. I told Black Panther to head out right away. I already found where Callian is. On the other side, the Emperor of Calliana is a total idiot. He practically told me where the star relic is himself. So he let his magic power spread everywhere without hiding it. Just to lure me into a trap. That woman thought I was more dangerous than she expected. Looks like the heir of Wignac isn't as gentle and refined as the rumors say. But no matter how strong you are, I'm the head of the Gilgus family. Now that I know you're after the star relic, there's no way I'm letting you leave just like that. I'll erase all your memories today, and then send you away. As soon as he finished speaking, Callian's figure appeared right behind her. You probably don't know this. That star relic was originally mine. The woman was so startled. When did he get behind me? But her movement stopped abruptly, because my sword was already pressed against her neck. Everyone dies eventually. Leaving a little earlier won't make you regret it. Gilgas's heart skipped a beat. Looks like this killing intent is real. I'm not kidding at all. That girl still has a long way to go. She's nowhere near ready to stand on her own. Kalyan never said this was just a mental issue. What the hell is this monster in front of me? Gilgas asked again. Are you really going to attack the leader of an extraordinary family? That's enough to start a war. The reflection of Kalyan's sharp eyes on the sword was clearly reflected back. I don't care about that at all. Then Kalyan threw his sword on the ground. Gilgas had no idea what this man was even up to. Kalyan said he doesn't like war. After saying that, he turned around to deal with the corpses. Gilgas wanted to know what exactly Kalyan was planning, but Kalyan didn't tell her. And for what happened this time, let's just turn a blind eye to it. A whole bunch of them ganged up on me, a defenseless man. That's way too much. So killing them counts as their apology. Also, that girl will be here any minute. Kalyan curled his fingers again and said softly to his finger, Rosie, I'm here. Gilgas had no clue what Kalyan was doing. Anyway, her gut feeling from before was right. This man is definitely dangerous. Gilgas thought she ought to seize this opportunity to run away as fast as possible, but I already guessed what she was thinking. Gilgas, how about we make a deal? I think it's not a bad deal for you. Why don't you hear me out? 2.5 minutes later, Kalyan finished cleaning up all the corpses. Kalyan fixed his hair a little. He wondered if he should give himself a few scratches. Otherwise, how would he explain everything? Right at this moment, a girl's voice came from behind Kalyan. Big brother, I'm here. I looked super anxious. I was terrified something bad happened to my big brother. When I was walking towards my big brother, Kalyan put his sword away, and the expression on his face was slowly changing. Seeing that big brother kept ignoring me, I thought he was injured. Big brother slowly turned his head around. Rosie, I'm so scared. I'm absolutely terrified without you. These people tried to kidnap me. You got here just in time. Big brother's sudden move left me a little stunned for a second. I tremblingly patted my brother's head. Who dared to bully my cute little bunny? They're literally asking for death. Look how scared my little bunny is. He's even crying. Then I saw someone sitting in the corner. I asked my brother if she was the one who bullied him. My brother said yes. The Emperor's knight suddenly tried to touch me. When I fought back, he dragged me all the way here. I panicked and kicked him in the vital parts. He collapsed. Then time just ticked by. I couldn't even find where the exit was. Listening to my brother's aggrieved complaints, I was totally heartbroken. I cursed myself for not keeping an eye on my brother. Then I used magic to quietly land a critical hit on that guy. Brother asked if we heard any weird sounds. I said I didn't hear anything at all. It sounded like a scream. You heard wrong, brother? Brother was shocked I found him so quickly. He hugged me all excited. You're such my sweet baby. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, you're the only one who helps me. The Black Panther said slowly. This is so ridiculous. Kalyan, what on earth are you doing here? I can feel your sword aura rushing at me from all directions. Yet you said you only kicked him in the nuts. I was super annoyed by what the Panther said. My brother was just in danger a minute ago. How dare you question him so harshly? I told brother not to worry. I'll explain everything to Lord Fissel. Just ignore whatever he says. And don't bother with him at all. Hurry up and cover your ears. But to my surprise, brother happily greeted the Black Panther. Long time no see. How have you been lately? The Black Panther looked totally confused. Since when did we start using this kind of greeting? Then he turned his anger on me, judging from the way this little girl speaks to you. And to me, she doesn't seem like an ordinary disciple, right? Kalyan, don't you think you owe me an explanation? Hearing this, I smiled proudly. I guess I'm really not an ordinary person. After all, I'm the youngest genius swordsman ever. To receive the Wignac family name, the Black Panther mumbled in a low voice. This will only make it harder for him to explain. If he's really that powerful, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Brother started pretending to faint right then. Rosie, my head hurts a little. It's so noisy here. That's when I remembered. Brother barely got any sleep, so I took brother and got ready to head back first. I turned to the Black Panther and said, Lord Fissel, let's continue this another day. My brother looks really unwell, so I'm taking him home to sleep. Before we left, Kalyan gave the Black Panther a look. Figure it out yourself. He mouthed the words, "She's my precious treasure. Stop bothering her anymore. She's still so young. I don't want her to be troubled." The Black Panther was really speechless. What is wrong with these two people? Kalian is obviously so strong. Why is he pretending to faint? 10 minutes later, Faisal didn't leave. He told the people hiding in the dark to come out, and that person was Gilgis. The Black Panther asked, "Did Kalian tell you to stay silent?" Gilgis looked very apologetic. "We erased the memories of the Emperor and the guard captain, and we both agreed that we would never talk about what happened here today. Although it's a bit suspicious, it's not hard to accept this condition." Gilgis thought to himself, if we want that thing to stay dormant, we still need him. Is this really the only way? Owen Wignack. He never showed his heir to the public. He kept him hidden all this time. Who would have guessed he'd trained his own son into such a monster? Besides that, Gilgis was very concerned about that little girl. Faisal guessed she might be a disciple awarded. The Wignack family name, being granted a family name above one's own, is equal to sharing their star blessing. In other words, for someone her age, she should already have incredible power. If he wasn't hallucinating, why did that little girl's magic take on the exact form of Gilgis? Then he looked at the soldiers behind him. A look of total disbelief crossed Gilgis's face right then. Then he said to Faisal, who was behind him, "Looks like we need to go see that little girl again." Faisal thought Kalian was clearly very fond of that little girl. It won't be easy to get close to her. Gilgis had an idea, which was to invite them to the Imperial Palace. The condition is that Owen Wignack, his heir, and Rosie must all be present. A beast like that never misses a chance to catch its prey. Meanwhile, on the other side, after I brought my brother home, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Kellyanne said he heard some news from the captain of the guard. They said hidden in Delphian Castle is the star relic left by Wignack. Kellyanne thought I'd look super surprised. But I was totally calm, actually. The star relic you're talking about can't be that beat-up old sword, right? Kellyanne froze for a second. Wait, the star relic is a sword. I hummed in agreement. Then I realized right away I'd accidentally spilled the beans, so I hurried to fix my mistake. Since it's Wignack's relic, of course it's a sword, duh. My brother said that was right. Good thing he didn't notice anything off. He added that the sword was a broken one. Wow, our Rosie is so smart. You got it right on the first guess. I let out an awkward laugh. I didn't dare say anything more right then. I better change the subject before he gets suspicious. Actually, I heard about it from Lord Faisal. You mean Louis Faisal? When did you get so close to him? I said we met when we were looking for you today. Wait, in such a short period of time. You already talked about the star relic. It's your first time meeting Louis, right? Oh no, this is bad. The look on my face probably made my brother think I was even more suspicious. My brother spoke up. Would you rather have someone like Louis as your brother instead of me? I told him to stop thinking like that. You'll always be my good big brother. You're the only big brother I want. Besides, why would you even think that? He said he can't even protect himself. And I always make you worry. Even so, Kellyanne, you're the only big brother I ever want. A click sounded. It was the door creaking open. There you are, little one, you're finally back. The person who came was Lord Owen, aka our father. You two troublemakers. Come to my office right now. Oh no, I thought to myself, this is so bad. Dad looked really angry. After we got to the office, Dad started yelling at us nonstop. You little troublemakers. You two stress me out so much. But he only said that one line, then told us to look at this letter. It's an invitation from the royal family. Both of you are invited. Kalyan didn't understand why the royal family would invite me and my sister. I heard you two came into contact with the head of the Faisal family today. I nodded. Yeah, he helped me find Kalyan. Dad's face turned pale with rage. That's another extraordinary family. And it's the head of the family, no less. Even a kid should know you have to be super careful around people like that. I could only keep saying I was sorry. Dad asked if he had asked about Kalyan or anything related to you. I thought about it carefully. Nothing out of the ordinary, I think. Kalyan cut in at this point. Please don't blame my sister. I know they're hunting me down. Then my brother told me to ignore the invitation and stay at the manor. That's the safest option. I'll go check what's going on. Of course, I didn't agree to that. My brother is so weak. Where did he get the confidence to say that with a straight face? Yesterday he sounded so confident. And he still got kidnapped, didn't he? So I insisted that I must go to the royal palace with my brother. Dad didn't expect that I'd react this way. I thought to myself, I can't let my brother get into danger again. Please let me go with him. Dad asked why I wanted to go too. I looked at my brother with pleading eyes, then looked over at Dad. I promise nothing will go wrong this time. Dad sighed, told me to stay in this room, then told Kalyan to leave the room first. Kalyan didn't seem to want to leave. Father, is there any reason you have to talk without me being here? What are you going to talk about alone? You're trying to leave me out of this. By this point, my brother had grabbed my hand. I didn't understand why he was reacting like this. Dad's gaze turned sharp. A loud thud rang out. He smacked Kalyan on the head. It's been a while since you defied my orders, hasn't it? This feeling really takes me back. Even after getting a beating from Dad, he still didn't want to leave. I told my brother it was fine. You go on ahead first. I'll be back really soon. Also, before you go to bed, I'll give you a goodnight kiss. Seeing my brother still wouldn't leave, I promised again that at night I'd sing his favorite lullaby for him. Dad looked super helpless. His son was really such a poor thing. Spoiled rotten by his own little sister, no less. My brother left the room like a little puppy. He told me to come over right after I finished talking. That made me a little confused. Did he leave without saying goodbye to Dad? What's up with him today anyway? After my brother left, Dad came over to me. Do you know why I took you as my apprentice and let you live here? Dad was really putting me on the spot because I had no clue what he was thinking at all. Did he want me to know my place? Without him, I never would have been able to step foot in this manor. Dad let out a long sigh. He knew his adopted daughter seemed to have misunderstood something. Then he spoke up. The reason I did this is because I'm worried about you. I didn't get what that meant. Why would Dad be worried about me? Was there some danger waiting for me up ahead? Dad had a complicated look on his face. The person you should worry about is your brother Kalyan. He's the one you need to watch out for the most. I was even more confused now. Why would Dad tell me to watch out for my brother? Dad said something totally out of the blue. You seem even softer than him when it comes to pretty faces. Kalyan is exactly the type of person who'd use this to get what he wants. I think Dad's definitely overthinking this. I'll admit my brother is definitely a perfectly handsome, talented young man, but there's no way he'd ever use his looks to take advantage of me. Even if Kalyan really did something like that, I'd be the first one to teach him a lesson. So don't worry about it, Dad. Dad couldn't tell if I was just naive or pitifully stupid. You little girl, are you underestimating your brother that much? He's not as weak as you think he is. So you don't have to obey his every order. But you also know Kalyan does have mood swings from time to time. So try to stay by his side as much as possible. As long as you do that, I promise Wignac will be the safest home for you. Hearing that I could stay with my brother, I was super happy. Looks like Dad gets that my big brother needs me to take care of him. Don't worry, Dad. Leave protecting big brother to me. In the end, Dad agreed to let me go and told me to keep an eye on Kalyan. Don't let him do anything weird. Then Dad told me to hurry back to Kalyan. Otherwise, he'd start being grumpy again. Before I left, I didn't notice Dad had a look of helplessness and fondness on his face. I thought I was going to get scolded. But Dad actually approved my request. Then I went to my brother's room. Kalyan, I'm back. Come greet your cute little sister. But Kalyan seemed a little off right then. I froze a little at that. What's wrong with brother? Does he have a fever? But I realized something was wrong when I looked closer. I noticed his forehead was burning up. It suddenly hit me if today was that special day. My brother nodded. Yeah, today's the day of Star Frenzy. Star Frenzy is a berserk state, when a superpowered person's body receives the star god's blessing, but can't withstand that huge amount of power. This state is triggered. I heard before that some people can get through it just fine, but Kalyan's symptoms are way too severe. Plus, the timing of his episodes is totally unpredictable. I sat down next to my brother. I know you must be in so much pain. I'll sing you the lullaby like I promised. Sleep, sleep, my good boy. Beautiful roses are blooming. I chanted a spell while I sang. My brother felt really weird. Every time he heard me sing the lullaby, it was like he was under a spell. All the pain just went away. What my brother didn't know was I had secretly used magic on him. When my brother saw I was next to him, he was really happy. He hoped I'd stay by his side forever from now on. Of course I will. All brother has to do is say the word. I'll stay by his side forever. Gradually, my brother fell asleep. Every time his star frenzy kicks in, we can't just do the same thing over and over again. I have to talk to him about this later. Right now, there's something I have to deal with first. Then I left the room. Right after I left the room, my brother woke up. Actually, he never fell asleep the whole time. He really liked what I said just now. As long as you need me, brother. I will always stay by your side and never leave for my whole life. Time jumps to the next day. I'm wearing a detective hat, sweatpants, and white sneakers. Good morning? My look really gave my brother Carrion a big scare. He thought I looked extremely good. I asked my brother if I looked handsome enough to be qualified to enter the royal harem. Hearing that, my brother's expression turned serious right away. What do you mean by that? Earlier I heard Carrion say, the star relic is inside this royal castle, so I guess it's probably hidden in the harem. If they want to take a star relic that has become unstable after being away from Wignac for too long and hide it away, they will put it in the most hidden spot in the castle. And if the Emperor is trying to bring Carrion there, so that the energy of Wignac's guardian heart can calm the relic down. This all makes perfect sense. This is the conclusion I spent more than 2 hours coming up with. There's no way it's wrong, because the real owner of that heart relic actually belongs to our family's cute little puppy. I told my brother not to worry. Just trust me. You only need to trust me alone, okay? I was a little curious. I obviously cast a spell on my face as part of my disguise. Why could my brother recognize me at a glance? Is my spell too weak? Suddenly a football hit me on the back of my head. The 2 kids behind me were very rude as they told me to kick the ball back. With a loud bang, I kicked the ball flying with 1 foot. Kids these days have no manners at all. They didn't even say sorry after hitting me. My brother came over and rubbed my little head. I bet the back of your head hurts a lot, right? Suddenly a passerby walked past us and chimed in. You 2 brothers seem to get along really well. That made me super happy. It looks like my disguise hasn't been seen through by everyone. I look like a regular little boy. I quickly slung my arm over my brother's shoulder. We're super close brothers. My brother also agreed and said that's right. Very dear indeed. Even our father walked over at this moment. If even father can't tell it's me, my disguise spell is definitely a success. Sure enough, after he came over, he noticed Luo Qian wasn't here. Then he pointed at me. Where did you little kid come from? Father, it's me. I'm Luo Qian. To protect my older brother, I need to look strong. So I tried a little disguise. Father looked super awkward. Why do I always have this bad feeling? My little hands were shaking with excitement. If even father can't recognize me, then there's nothing wrong with my disguise. I worried for nothing just now, but I'm still curious. Why my brother recognized me at first sight? Heart relic. Just you wait and see. We'll take you away really soon. After we went inside, father said only the leader and the heir can attend the summit. I have to stay here. My brother told me not to run around, so he won't be unable to find me when he comes out. But right at that moment, a voice interrupted their conversation. Carrion, long time no see. That man was really good looking, but still way worse looking than my brother. My brother immediately greeted the ruler of Delphi. That's when I realized he was that emperor with the weird quirks. He looked much younger than I thought. The emperor apologized deeply for his inappropriate behavior last night. I just wanted to talk to you in detail as the next head of the Vignac family, but it seems my intention was misunderstood. Then he held my brother's hand. I was shocked when I saw that. Is the emperor about to show his weird quirk now? Why don't we find a quiet place to chat leisurely, what do you say? I'll arrange everything according to your preferences. I guarantee you'll be satisfied. I felt my head start to hurt. What on earth did the emperor mean by preferences? If this keeps going, Carrion will really become the emperor's prey. So I have to start messing things up. Brother, where are you going? Aren't you going to take me with you? The emperor was also a little confused. This kid is... Your Majesty, my brother is busy with the summit right now. How about you take me with you instead? I put on a super adorable, pitiful look. I have to cut off the conversation between the emperor and my brother. Otherwise, my brother will be in danger. I was thinking, instead of me tagging along with my brother, it's better if he brings me with him. The emperor looked a bit confused. If Carrion is your brother, Then you're also a kid from the Wignac family, right? Yep, I'm from the Wignac family. My name is Ron. It dawned on the Emperor. Oh, right, I remember now. I heard they adopted a new kid a few years ago. So that's you. Are you also interested in the sanctuary? Your skin looks absolutely flawless. And your facial features are really nice. You'll definitely fit right in there. I thought to myself, stop staring at me. You creepy Emperor with weird fetishes. Then the Emperor made a suggestion. Can I borrow your little brother? Carrion hesitated a little. He glanced at me. I signaled him to trust me. My intense gaze was full of convincing energy. Carrion smiled. All right then. You can go with the Emperor and have fun. Please take good care of my little brother for me. I love him dearly. Meanwhile, my brother has already gone to the summit. The woman in front is Regina, leader of the Magic Circle. So you said you have matters related to the star relic that you want to come clean about. Sitting across from her are Cronus, leader of the Sword Vision, Owen, leader of the Sword Covenant, Lewis, leader of the Shapeshift faction, and Dorian, leader of the Healing Circle. Owen asked, You mentioned Lila's favorite item. Are you talking about the resurrection crystal? Dorian said yes, but there's another reason behind it. The resurrection crystal was stolen 12 years ago. After hearing this shocking news, Regina slammed her hand on the table. This is such a serious issue. Why did you wait until now to tell us? Cronus said it's been 12 years already. He can't do anything about it either. Dorian thought he could find it on his own, but he didn't find even a single clue. That's why he called everyone here, to ask for your help. Regina couldn't believe it at all. You only told everyone about this after 12 years. Lewis looked at Cronus. Don't you have any way to fix this? Isn't your right eye a star relic that can see the future? After hearing this, Cronus slowly took off his hood. His right eye can no longer open at all. If the resurrection crystal hadn't disappeared, I might have been able to know something. Everyone was shocked by Cronus's eye condition. A beast attacked him 12 years ago. That's why his eye can't open anymore. I originally planned that when the time was right. I'd use the crystal's power to heal my eye. So Lila also lost her star relic. 12 years ago, right? Regina was extremely shocked. Does that mean you also lost your prophetic eye? 12 years ago as well. That's way too much of a coincidence, isn't it? Owen let out a cold sneer. What a bunch of losers. I can't believe the leaders of the transcendent families can't even protect the last remaining star relic. I was too shocked to say a word. And looking at the timeline, the culprit of both incidents seems to be the same person. Is there no one among you who has any suspects in mind? After hearing this, Carrion had a very intriguing look on his face. Meanwhile, I followed the Emperor all the way into a castle. Before entering the castle, the Emperor ordered his men to not let anyone else in. This little kid is a very important guest today. He opened the door and I followed him walking forward. I was still wondering why the Emperor wanted to be alone with me and didn't bring any guards with him. The second I thought about the Emperor's weird fetish, I didn't want to be alone with him at all. Then the Emperor stopped walking. Your name is Ron Wignac, right? That's correct. Then a smile appeared on his face. There's something really wonderful waiting for you ahead, so you can look forward to it, okay? Little did he know what I was thinking right then. Are you finally going to show your weird fetish? But what I said out loud was that I'd look forward to it. He talked to me a lot along the way. He asked me if I've read the continent's history books. I said I read some back at the manor. Some of the stuff I read in those history books, according to historical records, after the First Continental War, 3 of the 5 star relics disappeared and haven't been found to this day. I don't agree with that at all. You've hidden a star relic, haven't you? The Star Holy Vessel is a weapon that carries the purest power of the stars. Back in the old days, transcendent families fought over them and waged brutal wars. Learning from the lessons of history, we are now trying our best to maintain the balance between all families. However, humans' desire for great power has never truly disappeared. And this Emperor is certainly no exception. If you think I've never noticed your despicable little schemes, you are dead wrong. You want to use my pure-hearted elder brother to stabilize the star relics. I will never let this creepy Emperor get what he wants. Just then, the Emperor smiled faintly. We've already arrived. Right in front of me appeared an extremely huge gate. I felt like the ground seemed to have some sort of strange power. But right at that moment, I heard someone calling me, "Hey boy, come over here for a second." Following that voice, I kept walking deeper inside. A golden beam of light came out from inside the gate. Wrapped in the golden light was a broken sword. Let me see your face. I immediately realized this was a star relic. I can't believe it's actually inside here. Suddenly, my body seemed to be floating up. Then a beautiful, jade-like hand rested on my cheek. The star relic actually turned into a holy goddess-like older sister. What a cute little face. Let sis give you a kiss, okay? Very soon, she realized something was wrong. The goddess stepped back in shock. You're not a boy at all. Who on earth are you? I knew I was totally screwed. I'd actually been found out. I can't believe I messed this whole thing up.